Today I'm going to be answering your most burning questions about Grounded. These are some of the questions I see asked most in my YouTube comments, during my Twitch live streams, and on Reddit and Discord. First up, will Grounded be removed from Game Pass when the 1.0 update releases? This is a common question I see asked quite a bit, and the answer to the question is no. Grounded is developed by Obsidian Entertainment. Obsidian Entertainment is an Xbox game studio. Microsoft acquired Obsidian a few years ago. So the game will be on Game Pass on September 27th when 1.0 happens. It should also be on there for the foreseeable future. In fact, I don't really see a reason for it to ever go away. Xbox Game Studio games are rarely removed from Game Pass. From the research I did and from talking to others, the only games that I could see that were Xbox Game Studio or Microsoft games that have been removed were the older Forza games, and they were removed due to licensing agreements which expired. So some of the older Forza games are not on there because they had, I guess, license agreements either with music or maybe some of the cars that were in the game. Grounded does not have any of that right now, and I don't think it's going to. It'll be really surprising if in 1.0 they just suddenly put a bunch of branded stuff in there. So I don't see any reason why there would be no license agreements which will cause Grounded to be removed. So I think you're safe to say if you're playing it through Game Pass, you're going to be able to play it September 27th. You're going to be able to play it most likely for years to come. Next up, will there be a PTS for the 1.0 update? Now, of course, there's been public test servers for every update up to this point, but there's not going to be one for the 1.0 update. The reason for that is the developers want to keep everything that's coming in the 1.0 update that they have not currently shown to be a surprise. So on September 27th, everybody will get to experience it at the same time. We will not be able to play it ahead of time. At least the general public's not going to be able to. I'm sure they're probably going to get out review codes to certain people or certain creators maybe to be able to play it ahead of time, but there's going to obviously be an embargo on that, so it won't be able to be released before September 27th, but there will not be a public test server. It seems like everything they wanted to have tested has been tested up to this point. The only reason to have the public test servers was to test out new features, new functionality, the way things worked, to make sure they functioned properly, to make sure there weren't any game-breaking bugs, stuff like that, no pun intended. And it looks like everything they wanted to have tested has been tested up to this point. So basically 1.0 is just going to have a bunch of new content, and there's not going to really be a need for things to be tested. Another question that people definitely want to know the answer to is, will there be new content after 1.0? Right now, the answer to that question is we really don't know. The developers have said there will be support for the game after 1.0. If we do look at the feature board, there are some features on there which say they're going to be coming in the future. The feature board has been whittled down pretty significantly. I can't remember if anything specifically has been removed from it. Just by looking at it, it does seem like there have been things that have been removed, or maybe they've been combined into one different category so that they've been combined together, so there's not so many items on there. Of course, lots of things have been already added in the previous updates. So right now, the only thing that I am aware of personally that I know of that they said they should be coming after 1.0, of course, there's going to be any bug fixes if there's any kind of major issues with the 1.0 update. And then they did say there's going to be some cosmetic stuff. So they didn't say specifically what, but I'm expecting there to be stuff, maybe like new building pieces, maybe new building materials, perhaps cosmetics for the characters, or being able to change the colors of things. Like they did add in the ability to change the colors of the lights. Maybe they'll add in something like changing the colors of the walls or something like that. They also did say there's going to be more stuffed bugs coming after 1.0. That's when they will come, if they do come. I don't think they said that there's going to be a stuffed bug for every single insect or every single creature in the game, but it did sound like there was going to be more coming after 1.0. So right now we don't know. It doesn't sound like there's definitely not going to be any new story content. At least that's what we've been told up to this point. So anything that comes after 1.0 most likely will not have any impact directly on the game. It'll be more like side stuff or quality of life things or customization. Our next question is, will there be dedicated servers in the future? Of course, this was a highly requested feature that was asked since I've been playing the game. It's been something that I've seen asked for, and currently there is no plans for there to be dedicated servers in the future or at any time for the game. Right now, the option, if you want to play, is the shared worlds, which were added in the home stretch update. So those were that was the most recent update, and it was the final update before 1.0. The shared worlds allow you to basically take your save and share it with your friends. So you can basically take a world, turn it into a shared world, and then invite your friends to it so they can join it. They can also do the same thing. The way it's going to work is whoever is the first person to join in any given session will be the host. So if you are in the game and then your friends join, you'll be the host. If one of your friends that you invited is already in the game, when you join or anybody else joins, they'll be the host. So right now there's no plans for dedicated servers, and I really don't see that changing. Next question is, will Grounded be on PlayStation? And that was the platform that I've seen most people ask for. You could also throw in their Nintendo Switch or any other, I don't know what else there, but Google Stadia, stuff like that, any other platform. The main question is, will it be on PlayStation? Because of course, PlayStation and Xbox are the two most popular consoles. They're the two, they both have newer gen consoles, the PlayStation 5 and of course the Xbox Series X and S. The answer to that is no, I do not foresee that happening ever, because right now, like I said earlier, the first question we talked about, Obsidian Entertainment, the developers of the game, is an Xbox game studio. Grounded is an Xbox game studio game, but right now there's no plan for Grounded to be on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or any other platforms. You'll be able to play it on your Xbox consoles or on PC via Windows or Steam, and that's going to be the way you're going to be able to play it. Another frequent question I get, especially during my live streams, is how do you name your chest? As you can see here, I have all my chests labeled here in the corner. These are for my upgrade pieces. And then down below here in my storage room, I have a chest basically for every kind of bug and then all the different parts. And in order to name a chest, all you do is basically go into it. If you're on mouse and keyboard, you're gonna press E. If you haven't changed your binds, you're gonna go in here and you can just type in whatever you want. So I can call this junk chest or something like that. And this will just be my chest. I press enter and there you go. And as you can see, it's set to junk chest. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe you can currently rename this using a controller. So I have my controller in hand. If I go in here, I can go up and select the name. And no matter which key I press on my, or which button I press on my controller, it's not popping up with an option to allow me to change the name. I was expecting it to be A, because A would just be select and then it would just open up. That's not the case. Hopefully there is a way, hopefully this will be something they make easy to do, or maybe they just make it where you press A and it pops up a keyboard. If there is a way to do this, if you know how to rename a chest using a controller either on PC or on console, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll make sure to pin your comment so others can see how to do it. But as of right now, I don't know how to do it. Hopefully, if it's not a feature, they do add that in 1.0. Next up is going to be how to toggle between first and third person. I don't normally worry about this because I play in first person all the time. However, I was playing with one of my kids not that long ago, and what ended up happening was he normally plays in first person as well. He got stuck in a spider web, and when he came out, he was stuck in third person, and we couldn't figure out how to do it. So basically what I think we ended up doing was he had to restart the game, so I put him back into first person. I have figured out how to do it on a controller, so I'll show you both ways. If you're on mouse and keyboard, and if you haven't changed your binds, at least this is what mine's set to, all I do is press the U key on my keyboard, and it lets me go back and forth between first and third person. If you're on controller, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to press the down button on your D-pad, so the down D-pad, you're gonna go up here to the top, and you're just gonna select it, and you're gonna see that's how you do it. So not that hard. You can go back and forth pretty quickly. So if you've ever gotten stuck in third person and can't get back and forth, or you're just wondering how to change it, that's how you do it on a controller as well as a mouse and keyboard. The final question we're going to be answering today is how do you toggle on and off trail markers? Now, you probably set up trail markers to mark important locations, whether it's your bases or maybe a resource that you want to go find or just some point of interest, or maybe you're just marking somewhere for your friends to go if you're trying to meet up somewhere. And what I do is I have it on the Y key. I believe that's the default key on mouse and keyboard. So basically I can just press Y, and as you can see, they go on and off. This is super useful because honestly, what I do is I bring them up if I'm going to a specific place. Like as an example, if I was going to this house over here, which I believe is over by on Aphid Island, I would just turn it on and run over there. And when I'm not using it, when I'm not going over there, once I get to it, I'll just turn it off. You can also do it on controller. What we're going to be doing is pressing the down D-pad, and we're going to be going up here to the top, and we're going to see here you have toggle trail marker. So as you can see, you can do that. Just like you were doing with when I showed you with the toggle the player camera from first to third person, you're just going to go to the one to the right of it and go over to it, select and press A, and there you can see the trail markers are going on and off. So that's 8 of the most common grounded questions I've seen recently. If you have any others, let me know in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, here's another video you might be interested in.